50, 45, there goes Davis. Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow! Oh my God! Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 426. Today is Friday, August the 2nd, 2024. We are presented by Viva Tequila. Seltzer, a little more on them in just a little, but welcome in, kid. Football is back. We're recording this at halftime, and Bears just went down the field and just scored 17-14. They're making this a game, kid.
It's over. It's going over, though. It's going over. You know, football is back. Exciting. That's exciting. Overall, Dale, it's been a hot past couple of days up here. Your boy's going through it. I don't know what to do during work, but it's been a struggle these past few days. But at least football is back. The Olympics finally getting going. You know, USA looking pretty good. Let's get into it, Dale.
Yeah, it's been high, especially when you don't have any AC in the car, too. I mean, that's the struggle out here. The truck. Regardless, I mean, I don't even have it in my work van and just the windows. It gets too hot within 5-10 minutes. You're already sweating. The humidity is insane. But yeah, like you said, big episode. We'll got some football news. We'll got some NBA news as well. Our two-a-days continue. We'll finish up the best division, I think, in the AFC North. Browns and Steelers. Big game, big slate in the Diamond. 15 games here on Friday. And then maybe we'll preview the men's basketball. They do take on Puerto Rico. They were listening to us, kid. No Joel Embiid last game. We'll talk about that in just a little. But I think the biggest news is just start us off. We'll stay in the NFL. DJ Moore and the Bears, 4 years, $110 million, $82.6 million guaranteed. I mean, he had a career year in his first season with the Bears. 96 catches, 1,364 yards, and 8 touchdowns. All career highs, kid. I think he deserved this contract.
Yeah, Dale, to be honest, this is a kind of a team friendly deal. I like it from DJ Moore just because he's a little more of a vet now in this age. And let's be honest, Dale, he sees what's coming. He has a good shot to work and develop with Caleb Williams. He sees what's going on, and he could possibly be part of something special. So I like the fact that the Bears signed him on a long-term deal, and one that he took a little bit of a discount. And we see multiple wide receivers right now, as of right now, not showing up to camp over deals. And look, the Bears just luckily got a great deal done for maybe not a household name DJ Moore, but we both know, and the people out there listening know, DJ Moore is a true baller in this league. So to me, great signing for the Bears and DJ Moore.
I think he's a top 10 receiver, kid. I truly think.
When he put it like this, if he had just an above average quarterback his whole career,
every season be top 10.
He'll be top. Exactly.
And that's just one of the contracts. I think outside he kind of got a Amon-Ra St. Brown deal. Amon-Ra St. Brown got 4 years, 120. He took 4 years, 110. Justin Jefferson,
nice
4 years. Yeah, a little. Yeah, he did give him a little discount. Even Jalen Waddle, 3 years, 84 million. Nico Collins, 3 years, 72.
I guarantee if DJ Moore wanted to push for 30 a year, he
probably could have. Yeah,
he could have got it.
I mean. And now we're still talking, still to come, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Brandon Ayuk, Tyreek Hill. I think he's up for one as well.
Yeah, but this is it's a little more of a tax bracket there, though. Don't get me wrong. 4 years, 110, nothing to laugh at. But those guys are looking to set all time. They want to. Honestly, I think what it really is going. I think CD wants to surpass Justin Jefferson contract. And to be honest, I think Jerry Jones is saying hell no. And maybe that's what's going on in Cincinnati as well. You got Jamar Chase who's saying, you know what, I'm also top 3 wide receiver as well, and which I agree in. I think he deserves to be the highest, if not one of the highest paid wide receivers in the league. So does CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah,
and Brandon Ayuk Also, yeah, I'm not saying Brandon Ayuk is top 3, but all I'm saying is he wants his money too.
I think Brandon Ayuk, CeeDee Lamb and Jamar Chase, they're in a bracket of their own. But I think Brandon Ayuk could get a deal kind of like Michael Pittman Jr. or Devontae Smith, 3 years, 70 to 75 million. I think he's worth that.
He wants that long term deal. I think even something like something what DJ got, but he wants a little more, probably like I'm gonna say 4 years of $125, maybe.
Personally, I don't think he deserves more than DJ Moore. Do you?
Do I personally? Brandon Ayuk is nice.
He is, but
DJ Moore is a little more explosive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Me personally, I think Brandon Ayuk is at least in the same ballpark. So
100%.
For example, if Brandon Ayuk is seeking let's just say that number, 4 years, 110, and the 49ers are stuck at like 4 years, 90. Okay, I can see why you're holding out. But if Brandon Ayuk is out here wanting, Justin or some of these other guys,
you're not getting that.
You're not getting that, Brandon. So you gotta be realistic. And at the end of the day, you gotta look at the future. DJ Moore took a slight discount because he knows was upcoming. Caleb Williams might be a fucking stud. You see the upgrade. The defense got better. Look at the Bears last season. I understand that they didn't get everywhere they possibly wanted to go, but they took a major step. They took a major step there. So
100%.
let's see what they could do these next 3-4 years with Moore, Caleb, Uzier.
Yeah, I think it's a great combination or a great problem to have because I think they're two of the same person. I think DJ's a little better, but I think they're the same thing. It's 1A, 1B with him and BA. This contract, largest in Bears franchise history. It's the largest contract extension. He's now going to spend his first 10 years in the league with the Bears. And like you said, he sees what's going on, what they're stacking around Caleb Williams. They already have a above average defense. Bears are going in the right way, hopefully. Another team going in the right way, 3-time Pro Bowl Buccaneers offensive tackle Tristan Wirfs, 5 years, $140.63 million extension. He makes him the highest paid offensive lineman in NFL history. It's $88.5 million guaranteed. He was in the final year. It was going to pay him around $18.5 million this year, but he's now going to be in Tampa till 2029. Tristan Wirfs reset the market. Penny Sewell reset the market a couple months ago, $28 million. He's making $28.1 million now. So Laramie Tunsil's up there. He's making $25 million. But Tristan Wirfs, man, I think he really deserves. He's one of the best offensive tackles in the game.
Yeah, let's not forget, this kid was blocking for Tom Brady his rookie year and did an amazing job. Went to win the Super Bowl. So that's one there. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's, the best, tackle in football or whatever, but he's definitely top 5 still. So I think the Buccaneers made a wise decision, paid the man, because I understand right now he's the highest paid deal, but in 2 years from now, Tristan Wirfs is going to be a bargain. So great deal for both sides. And shout out Tristan Wirfs. He's honestly been a stud. And remember, let's not forget, I think he was like the 17th, 18th overall pick. Looking back now, that was a steal.
Oh, that and let's be honest. The reason that Tom did go there, not just because it's beautiful down in Tampa, but they had a good offensive line. They could protect him, starting with him. So they actually, this offseason, we know they signed Mike Evans 2 years, 41, Baker 3 years, 100 mil. But they made Tristan Wirfs the highest offensive tackle, and Antoine Winfield the highest paid safety, 4 years, 84 million. So they really believe in their talent that they got right now. I love all the contracts. I think they all make sense. And Winfield, like you said, Super Bowl champ. He's a 2-time All-Pro, 3 Pro Bowl selection. Yeah. His 3 seasons, he did start at right tackle. They did move him over to left tackle last season. So I'm interested to see how he plays in his second year on the left side, though.
Yeah. And another person who deserves an extension is whoever is the GM deal, because let's not forget, Tristan Wirfs and Antoine Winfield Jr. came from the same draft. So you hit 2 home runs in that draft, and I'm pretty sure Winfield Jr. was like a 3rd or 4th round pick.
Yeah. Jason Lynch is the GM, 5th year there in Tampa. So, yeah, shout out him. Doing a great job over there.
Doing a great job.
Doing a great job. A little on the sucky note, Justin Herbert, he was diagnosed with an injury on his right foot. Doctors, he's going to be in a boot for about 2 weeks. They're going to gradually get him back there. They do have expectation that he'll be ready for the start of the season, but Not a good start for Jim Harbaugh Jim Harbaugh, because the depth chart for LA, not the best. They got Max Duggan, the guy from TCU. They got Easton Stick is their QB2. He's okay, but he's obviously not Justin Herbert. So he's done for the rest of the preseason. But yeah, this kind of a bummy news here today.
Do you have any clarification on the injury?
It's an injury with the plantar fascia. It's in his right foot. He's going to be in a boot for about 2 weeks. Then they're going to gradually put him into rehab. So, I mean, we're about a month out. So
I'll be honest, I don't know exactly where that part is still, but we know it's in the foot.
Yeah. I'm going to look it up while you're talking.
I wouldn't be that concerned if I'm the Chargers. Say, for example, if it was like the Achilles, that might linger all season long, or something like that. So I wouldn't be too stressed about it.
Oh, it's on the bottom of your heel, kind of where they put that gel inside shoes. It's like the bottom of your heel.
So it's a little lower than the Achilles.
Yeah, a little lower than the Achilles.
All right, so that's not good. I'm gonna be honest, Peter. That's not good. I'm gonna be real with you. As a quarterback that plants and is his right foot.
Yeah, it's his right foot.
That's not good. You see, people? See, this is why we search things up to make sure, because I don't know what that is.
No,
now that Dylan provided some context, I'm letting you know that's not good. That might linger throughout the season. You know why? He's going to have to plant off that right foot. Well, I'm going to say Justin's going to snap back. I understand Jim is going to, bring in a little bit of running attack, but Justin Herbert's going to sling it. I'm going to say he could at least slap back 35, 45 times a game, Dill, on that back foot. And Justin Herbert, he's not shy to take off with the ball either. So I'm a little concerned. If I'm the Chargers fan right now, if I'm Jim, I'm slightly concerned just because it's the right foot. If it was the left foot, I wouldn't be too worried about it. But it's the bottom of your right heel. You're going to be planting off that foot 5 days out of the week, with practice and then come game day. I'll be a little concerned. At least it happened now instead of, in season, week 6, week 8, when you're possibly doing really well. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, Dale, but a little concerned if I'm a Chargers fan.
So for a Dr. Clinic website, it says the plantar fasciitis, what he has, is one of the most common causes of pain heel. It involves inflammation, obviously heat, flaming up, a thick band of tissue that runs across the bottom of each foot and connects the heel bone to the toes, known as the plantar fascia. So yeah, not good, I would say. And not a first for Harbaugh either. It's not starting the season off. And I would, like you said, I wouldn't rush this guy back. I know you guys don't really have that much depth at QB, but you can't rush this back because then he could seriously get hurt, and you have a lot of money invested in Justin Herbert.
Yeah, not to compare it to basketball, but I always go back and look at the Kevin Durant situation in the 2019 finals. He had the calf injury in the season. He basically didn't play since round 1. They rushed him back in the finals. I'm not going to say they rushed him back, but, they brought him back in the finals when they're down 2-1, and then midway in the game, he tears his Achilles due to rushing back from the injury. So, if I'm the Chargers, I'm not going to rush him back, especially you got to be careful with the foot. You never know what could happen. Look at Aaron Rodgers last year. Justin Herbert is real young. I wouldn't force anything right now. At the end, they just, massage it, treat it. Hopefully the kid is good. Maybe week 3 of the preseason, if not week 1 of the season, but hopefully it doesn't linger throughout the season. If not,
100%.
That would be an issue.
Another big blow, DeAndre Hopkins out 4 to 6 weeks. He has a knee injury. We talked with Chelsea. We broke this team down. We think D-Hop could have a good season, but now probably going to miss the first week or 2, depending on how this recovery comes. I mean, not the start Tennessee wants. New coach, young quarterback, tough schedule. This is another big blow, kid, early in training camp.
Yeah, definitely a loss, but, not too crucial, just possibly 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of the season. If that, I think D-Hop will be just fine, nothing too serious. From Will Levis' standpoint, I think it will hurt him just a tad, just because we saw the development him and D-Hop had since he became the starter. D-Hop numbers just started going up when Will Levis was inserted. So hopefully him and Calvin really start something really going early on, or Tony Pollard just running the ball well. But hopefully D-Hop is ready to go week 1, and I think Tennessee will be okay. But if he's not there week 1, they'll we'll see how the offense flows.
Yeah, it might be cause of concern. You don't want to start the season off, especially with a very tough schedule, young team. I know they have Calvin Ridley. Maybe he could hold down the fort until he gets back. But yeah, tough news for Tennessee fans as well. Let's go to the NBA. Big deal. I mean, they're signing everyone. They re-signed Evan Mobley to that big contract. Donovan Mitchell. And now here comes Jared Allen, 3 years, $91 million max extensions. It's going to Cleveland is guaranteeing $131 million over the next 5 years for Jared Allen. I think he deserves it. I think those are the three best players on the team, and I think you have to build around them. The two guys in the front court, and then in the back court, one of your players in Donovan Mitchell. But outside of that, I think he deserves it. He's great down low. He gets boards. He's a good rim protector as well. I'm a big Jared Allen fan. Wasn't a fan of him on the Nets for obvious reasons, but I do like him. I think he's a really good player.
Yeah, shout out Jared Allen. He's a real humble guy, so I like that about him. And at the end of the day, he's a double guy. He could get the boards, he could get you 15 to 16, 18 points when needed, and he could block a couple of shots. Maybe I understand. Maybe some people hope he was just a little more aggressive or stuff like that. But I think Jared Allen is a solid piece, and I kind of like what Cleveland is doing. At least staying in the mix of things. I understand we might not think Cleveland are contenders, but let a key player or two go down for another team. Cleveland will be in the thick of things. So I like the fact that you still got Darius, you still got Donovan, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. So I like the fact that they're just not, throwing their hands up and let's start a rebuild in this heavily loaded Eastern Conference. Nah, they're staying in the thick of things and keeping their squad together. So great job by the Cavs. And to be honest, I think it's a solid deal. It's not a steal.
And it's friendly. It's a friendly deal.
Yeah, it's not a steal, but I think it's the going rate for a pretty good center in Jared 100%. Allen, honestly.
Yeah, and I think he could have gotten more in the open market. If I'm being honest, I think $91 million is a very good deal for Jared Allen.
And guarantee, I understand Wemby and Rudy and whatnot, but best believe
he holds his own.
Jared Allen's name will be in somewhat the defensive player of the year if he plays enough games.
Other signings that happened over the week: Precious Achiuwa, he stayed with the Knicks. Luke Kennard, I think this is a good. I'm not a Memphis Grizzly fan, but he signed with the Grizzlies, 1 year, $11 million. He shot a career best 44% from three. He spaces the floor. It's only a 1 year deal. I don't think it's terrible, kid. Honestly, I think if it doesn't fit out, they could get rid of him. But Luke Kennard's a good piece. I kind of like him.
Yeah, I like Luke Kennard. Even when he was a Clipper, I know Luke Kennard. He's a shooter. He's a good guy coming off the bench who could honestly provide instant offense when needed and can hit the big shots from the corner or from the baseline with the three. So to me, for $11 million to get a key role player coming off the bench, can't start when needed, but you got that shooter. To me, it's a great deal.
But yeah, that was a steal, I thought. By the way, we cashed South Sudan plus 30.5. It actually dropped to game time around 28. Yeah, you're right. But they still didn't cover that. But I think they were listening. They sat Embiid, they started Tatum, they started AD. AD has been one of the best players as well, but they really didn't have good games. Jason Tatum didn't really shoot. I'll say this, kid. Steph Curry has been awful these games. He hasn't been good at all. 0 for 6 from the 3-point line, 1 for 9 in 21 minutes. He only had 3 points. He had 4 turnovers. He wasn't really, honestly, we talked about it. Bam was the best player. Yeah. 18.7 boards. He had an assist as well. He shot 8 for 10 from 3. KD had another good game, but even Anthony Edwards, I think this bench, we said it at the top of about 2 weeks ago when they started, this bench has been playing better than their starters.
Yeah, Dale, in the first quarter, LeBron did his thing. Kevin Durant came off the bench. I think him and LeBron outscored South Sudan in the first quarter alone. KD got to go in the free throw line. But like you said, the bench came in and honestly took the game over. Bam had a huge game. Even Tyrese Halliburton came in pretty late, hit a couple threes. Devin Booker looked okay. But, Steph, Tatum, to be honest, you know what it
Tatum hit the side of the backboard. Jaylen Brown wasn't doing that.
I honestly think, let's not forget, people, the 3-point line, I think it's 1.5 feet closer.
It's closer, yeah.
So maybe that's fucking with Steph.
Oh,
no. I'm
this is the greatest shooter of all time. That shouldn't bother him, kid.
I will be the last person in those worlds to defend Steph.
I know this is crazy talk.
All I'm saying is he is the greatest shooter of all time, and maybe that's fucking with him a little bit. But
Yeah.
overall, it's surprising how well the bench is playing for the USA consistently. Like we've been saying this a couple of weeks now. Like when the bench comes in, they just move the ball better, and they always extend the lead or get some back in the game. We saw a game one against Syria, a la Kevin Durant. So just for some reason, the bench is playing better than the starters. Hey,
4 of the 5 bench players in Bam Adebayo, Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, and Derek White were all in double digits, kid. The only people in double digits consistently for the starters, obviously LeBron James, and surprisingly, Devin Booker hasn't been the worst player. So
Devin Booker been doing thing. And not for that, Tyrese Halliburton came in and hit his first 2 or 3 threes. He played well.
I mean, he's not. I hate him, but he's not playing bad either. Like
I know
this
you
whole,
hate him. I know you hate him, but he's good.
I don't really know, man. This bench has really been playing well, and I think they've been keeping the United States in the best team. To be honest, they've been keeping them in check, and even Drew Holiday, he's doing his thing too, defensively as well. But like, what do you make of them sitting Embiid because he didn't get a fucking minute?
To be honest, I think it's all matchups. I heard, D Wade say it during the game. They were saying that spacing that South Sudan was bringing Embiid out more towards the 3-point line. That's all they were getting, hitting so many shots from the 3-point line. It was able to get easy buckets at the rim because they were able to bring Embiid out. You screen and roll, you get an easy cut, and South Sudan is going to be able to beat Embiid to the basket. Or if not, they're just going to take the shot at the 3-point line because Embiid's not going to get up. So I understand from that aspect that worked, and maybe Steve Kerr and the coaching staff seen that it was like, you know what, Embiid, you can sit right here next to me, enjoy this day off, and we're going to get this win. And let's just be real, people. Team USA looks much better at this game than we did in the expedition. Hey, maybe we didn't take them too serious. Maybe it's whatever, but we did come out firing, and we played much better, and the ball moved better.
100%.
In the first half, the ball was flowing. In the third quarter, South Sudan, came back a little bit, but in the first and second quarter, we was dialed in defensively, and not for that, it was beautiful basketball being played for all the ball movement.
Yeah, we looked much better, much sharper, obviously led by our bench. But yeah, I mean, not too much to say. They do have their next game Saturday morning, actually, 11:15. They play Puerto Rico. The spread is ginormous. We're 33.5-point favorites. Over-unders at 187. We'll talk about that in a sec. But yeah, shout out Bam Adebayo. I thought he was the best player. And, medal update here for the Olympics. 37 total medals. We have the most medals by 10. Second is France. But we're still second. We're gold. China has the most gold with 11 golds. We have 9, but we have 15 silver and 13 bronze, so 37. So go United States, baby. Let's fucking go. Look at the flag, baby. Come on. Wave. I feel like Tony Kornhauser on PTI. You've heard of that?
Yeah.
Legendary. Yeah, legendary. Let's see where we could go now. Before we get to an ad break, Gordon Hayward retired. Shout out Gordon Hayward, man. Legendary career, I thought. He was never the same once he came down off that unfortunate injury.
Come on.
First game of the season, I was watching it like, oh, man. But he's a really good gamer, apparently. He builds like his own computer. So, yeah, shout out Gordon Hayward, man. Hell of a career.
Yeah, it all started up, in Butler. So he's a legend.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it all sucks that, it happened, game one, Celtics versus Cavs. He never been the same, but shout out Gordon Hayward, honestly. Another thing I just saw, that makes Paul George the only guy remaining for the 2010 draft class.
Wow.
That's nuts. Yeah. From the 2010 draft class, Paul George is the only remaining, active player.
Yeah, because Gordon Hayward was the number 9 pick
John
at Butler.
Wall was number 1.
Wow. What a crazy stat. I didn't know that. Yeah. Thank you for that. All right, before we get into our plays, a quick word from our sponsor. We are proud to you each and every episode via Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. Make sure you guys go check out the new flavor, coconut, as well. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or an elderberry watching the Hall of Fame game, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. We will finish up the AFC North. Steelers and the Browns. Which team do you want to start with? Think there's a little more to talk about with the Browns, if I'm being honest, but up to you. Where do you want to go?
You pick, Dale. To be honest, I'm good on both. I honestly have a little more with the Steelers, but with the Browns,
let's start with the Steelers. Let's start with Pittsburgh, little old Pittsburgh out there in Western PA. Super Bowl 50-1, AFC 25-1. AFC North, they have the fourth best odds, plus 750. Win total 8.5, overs plus 122, under minus 150. To make the playoffs, yes, plus 160. No, minus 205. So before we get to player props, out of those, what are we feeling here? Big year for Mike Tomlin? What's going on?
I wouldn't say big year, but
you're high on Russ.
I'm feeling better than last year. I like Russ more than I love Kenny Pickett. Absolutely, Dale. Let's start there. 8.5 wins. Give me over 8.5 wins. Yeah, plus 122. To be honest, I feel like the Steelers could win more than just 9 games. I give them a shot to win 10, a little sprinkle on 10, plus 600, plus 555. I'm gonna take a shot. They'll give me the plus 160 to make the playoffs. I think the Steelers could honestly make the playoffs. I counted 9 wins, possibly get to 10 wins, and I think 9-10 wins could honestly sneak you in the playoffs. Still, I think Russ is a major upgrade than Kenny Pickett. I've been saying this since the signing. Even if it ain't Russ, Justin Fields is a major upgrade over Kenny Pickett. So I expect this. If this Steelers team was able to make the playoffs last year with about 3 starting quarterbacks, I think they'll be a little better with Russ and Justin Fields. Look, give me the over 8.5 wins. I love that play. To win 9 games plus 555, a sprinkle to win 10 games at plus 600, and to make the playoffs at plus 160.
Yeah, I'm going to be on everything opposite. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to take the under 8.5. I don't like them to make the playoffs, minus 205. Not touching any of that as well. I'm going to be that guy, but I'm going to go
Mike
under.
Tomlin's going to have his first losing season?
Yep. And, they have the hardest schedule in the league, 32nd hardest schedule in the league. Easily the worst team in that division. Best division in football. They're easily the 4th best team there. And I think this is a crazy stat for Steelers with last year of how good they were in the 4th quarter. They were outscoring their opponents by 29 points, 5th best in the league last season. They won 4 games where they trailed going into the 4th quarter. That was 1st in the league. Elvis, that's not sustainable. I mean, we're going to see some regression there, even with Russ or Justin Fields, whoever winds up playing. I do think, as much as I like Justin Fields, I do think Russ will start. And I know you're high on him. I know a lot of people are, and he's definitely, and I don't want to get this mixed up, he's definitely an upgrade from what they had. But honestly, I really didn't think he was that good last season. He held on to the ball way too long. He looked for a lot of big plays. He settled, if you watch the film, he settled on a lot of check down throws, too much in the backfield. Only one quarterback, held on to the ball longer than 3.5 seconds last year. Do you know who held it longer than Russell Wilson?
Zach Wilson.
Justin Fields.
Wow.
throws behind the line of scrimmage. He throws a lot of that. His game reminds me of a lot of like boom or bust. If he hits it, cool. Like then you succeed, a big play downfield. But if he doesn't, he's just a check down kind of guy for me. I don't trust the offensive line. They're ranked 20th in the league. Their wide receivers are questionable. You have Van Jefferson. I like the tight end, Freiermuth. I think he's pretty good. But outside George Pickens, I really don't like anyone. I mean, I like the kid that they drafted from Michigan, Roman Wilson. He got carted off yesterday from an ankle injury, so we'll see how he is. Secondary, outside of Minkah Fitzpatrick, really don't trust their secondary. I like their linebacker core. Their front seven is good. They pick up Patrick Queen, who's literally a Pittsburgh Steeler. He fits what they want to do perfectly. But I don't know. I'm not high on them. It's not the coach. It's the roster. I think I don't trust Russ. I don't trust the offensive line. I think they have a good running back room with the 1-2 punch in Harris and Jaylen Warren, but I don't trust the offensive line. I don't really trust the receivers. The secondary is good. I think they'll get home with TJ Watt, Patrick Queen. I like their defense, but I just don't trust them, man. I got to go under, man. I like Mike Tomlin. I think he's one of the best coaches of my lifetime, but I'm going to take the under here. Let's go before we get into the props. Defensive player of the year, I mentioned him. TJ Watt, plus 750 has the third best odds to win this year. I mean, he was just an absolute beast last season, kid. I mean, he had 48 solo tackles, 68 combined. He had 19 sacks. The kid was all over the place. He even picked off he had one interception last year against the Rams, I think. So,
and I think he did that in 14 games, 15
games? Yeah, something like that. You think there's value there at plus 750?
No, just because not realistically, he has the talent to win. It's not about the talent. It's just, is he gonna play the games to be able to win the award? Every year it seems like TJ Watt has an injury at the worst possible time. The Steelers end up making the playoffs, but TJ Watt is not in the lineup. So I hope he's able to stay healthy all season, and hopefully, if I'm right, come playoff time, he's able to be on the field. I would love to see TJ Watt on the field come playoff time. It's been a couple of years. Want to see it again. I think it's value there, honestly, but it's a reason why he's the third best odds. I just wouldn't do it just because I don't trust him able to finish the season or play 16 plus, 17 plus.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think you could get a better number in season as well. Just wanted to get it off the top because I feel like we haven't had much of those player of the year things. So I want to start with Russell Wilson, though, because you are high on him. Like I said, I don't want this to be misviewed. I do think he's an upgrade. I think I just really I added when he left Seattle, I kind of fell out of love with his game a little bit. I think he's an upgrade. I think he's a much better quarterback, but I'm just really not high on him. He still threw for over 3,000 yards, 26 touchdowns. I was top 10. I know he had a high variance of touchdowns, but like I said, it was kind of either boom or bust. If he didn't have the big play, he was kind of checking it down. His passing yards this season, it's lower for some reason, which I don't understand. Even though I'm not high on him, I don't get the number, 2,750. And it's plus money to go over that, plus 110 to go over that, minus 135 to go under that. His passing touchdowns is at 17.5. Elvis, I'll start here with you. Passing yards, passing touchdowns. What kind of a season are we looking here for Russell Wilson?
To be honest, I could see why it went down, but 27.50.5, though, I think you would agree, it's a little disrespectful.
I agree.
It's disrespectful. The fact that Russ was able to throw for 3,000 yards last season, which I would even agree with you, was a down year. And a year he didn't even finish. I think he got benched, week 14, week 15? He didn't finish the season, people. The man went 3,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Quarterback rating of a 98. That's pretty damn good, though. Let's just be honest. Give me the over, 27.50.5 at plus 110. The only reason I could see why it's either this low and plus money, maybe some speculations out there. Maybe Justin Fields gets the job week 8,
or they 7. Split time.
Or maybe there's some type of offensive, split. We don't know about that. Vegas does. Who knows? We're not sure, but I honestly think it's Russ' job to lose. I think Russ right now gives the Steelers the best chance to win. Not saying Justin Fields does it. All I'm saying is Russ is the better quarterback in 2024. That's
I agree 100%. I'm going to take his over as well. I mean, he hasn't had a season in his 9 or 10 year season. Even his rookie year in 2012, he's gone over this number. He's gone over this number in every game. I understand the number though. It is disrespectful just because outside of George Pickens, Van Jefferson is past his prime. They pick up the rookie from Michigan. We'll see how he does. But outside of Freiermuth, I understand why the number is 2,750.5. I'm still going to take it over. Even in a down year, he threw for 3,000 yards. I got to take the over at plus money too. I'm going to stay away from the passing touchdowns. So 17.5, I'm going to stay away.
Oh, not Dill. You got to take the over. 17.5, Dill. To me, I don't want to use the L word, Dill. But
we know that happened.
Yeah, that one's up there. You know why? Every single year of his career, he's went over this number. Besides the 2022 year, no offense, just saying, the Daniel Hackett season wasn't a good one. Let's just agree on that. Can we just agree that was just a bad year for both Nathaniel and Russ? Yeah. That's all. Every other year, he went over this number by damn near double digits. Besides 2016, so I just don't see why. Again, why the number is so low is once again it's disrespectful. This is Russell Wilson. I understand Russ is on the decline. This ain't Russ from 2014, 2015. This ain't Russ let him cook anymore. This Russ let's ride. I understand that, dude, but this still a Hall of Famer we're talking about. Russ, when needed, he can still win you games. We saw it last season when Denver won 6 straight games. They shocked me. I thought Denver was cold turkey.
They got put up like 70 on them. Remember that?
Yeah. Bro, Miami scored 70 points.
It was 70.
It was bad, but they was able to turn it around. And I just feel the Steelers with that culture, Mike Tomlin, that defense. And I wouldn't be too worried about the wide receiver group just because every year some Steeler wide receiver that we never heard about is out here making plays. So I wouldn't be shocked if the 4th, 5th string is the 2nd string by week 6 still. For some reason, the Steelers wide receiver room always deep. And notice they never re-sign none of their stars. They always let them go.
See it. We'll find one more.
We'll find another one. And they always do. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. And like you said, Dill, they do have they have a pretty damn good running back room. I want to say one of the best, but it's up there.
It is. It is. All right, so you're high on Russ. You're gonna go over for both.
No, it's not high. You even agree. It's just the number is too low.
Yeah,
it's too low. If it was 3,600 yards, I would have been like, maybe I'll lean the under. If it was 27 touchdowns, I'll stay away. But 17.5?
Yeah. I just think sometimes the reason I'm staying away just because I think they're gonna run the ball a little more than
Put it like this. Who you think will have more passing touchdowns this year? Will Levis or Russell Wilson?
I think that's a great question. I think the favorite would be Russ. I take the plus money with Will Levis.
No, but who will have more?
I'll take the wild card. I'll take Will Levis. Just because I think he has more options. And I think they're going to throw more. I don't think Pittsburgh's a throw type team, even with Russ. They have that running back room for a reason. I don't like I said, I just don't trust them. Maybe a guy comes out and does really good, but
quick, just Levis over under touchdown prop is 17.5.
Yeah, that's what
Russ
I'm saying.
Russ is going to throw more touchdowns than Will Levis. With all due respect.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's go to that guy, George Pickens. I thought he had a really good first year out of Georgia. He had over 1,100 yards last year. His rookie year, he went for 800 yards. So a nice gradual increase. The team was better. He had 63 catches last season compared to 52 his rookie season. So he is taking that next step. I think he's really good. I think he's a wide receiver 1 on a couple bad teams. I think he could be a wide receiver 2 on a few good teams. This year, his prop is 975. They're thinking he takes another step. Receiving touchdowns, 4.5. He had 4 touchdowns his rookie year, and he had 5 last season. So he did have one more. His receiving yards, 975.5, minus 112 both ways. His receiving touchdowns, 4.5, minus 142 towards the over, plus 112 for the under. I got to take the over. I mean, he went for 1,100 yards last season with not good quarterbacks at all. He had 3 quarterbacks at one time. So, and he still had 1,100 yards. He put up career numbers. Granted, it's a small sample size, only 2 years, but I mean, he improved in everything. Usually you see a wide receiver decrease in when you have instability at quarterback, and he actually got better. So I think it says more on George Pickens how good he is. So I love it. I'm going to go over 975, and I know it's chalky, minus 142, but I think he gets 5-6 touchdowns again this season.
Yeah, I'm going over, to be honest. 975 to me is a little low just because, like you said, he had 800 his rookie year. We bumped it up to 1,100 his sophomore year. And I think he will even be better this season just because the quarterback play is going to be better with Russ or Justin Fields, whoever starts. So I think 975 is a little low. Yeah, maybe I don't expect him to go for maybe 1,300, but I see another 1,000-yard season for sure. So give me the over 975.5, and then I honestly, it's a little too rich, to be honest. Maybe if it was like minus 120, maybe I'll take the over
Yeah,
four
it's a
and a
little
half.
chalky.
But to lay it for the year, I wouldn't do it. So I'm staying away. I do believe he will go over the mark just because I think 4.5. Like I understand he only went for 5 last season, but look at the quarterback play. I think Kenny Pickett only had 11 passing touchdowns. Russ had 26. So I think he'll at least get maybe 6, maybe 7 career high for sure.
And another really low number. We said we like this running back room. Najee Harris, 800.5. I mean, in his 3 years, he's never gone under 1,000 yards, kid. I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, last year, I think you could make an argument it was kind of a down year, but he hasn't rushed for under 1,000 yards in all 3 seasons. I mean, I just don't get it. Even the rushing touchdown, 5.5 his rookie season. He had 7, 2022. He had 7 last year. He had 8. I mean, I just don't understand the numbers. Am I looking at something that's different? I know I even made an argument that the offensive line is kind of banged up, but they drafted a guy out of Penn State a few years ago. No, not Penn State. It was offensive tackle from Washington. It was Troy Fatui. It's one of the Hawaiians that got drafted. So they're making progress on that offensive line, but they're still young. So, and even with a below average offensive line, he's still racking up 1,000 yards per season. I know he has a lot of miles. He played 4 years at Bama, but this guy's a fucking workhorse, man. I mean, I don't say the L word, but I think this one is an L word, if I'm being honest.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go there. Barring health, though, this is another one. It's too low. I understand they have a hard schedule. They're in the toughest division all of football. Just look at the defense. You got Baltimore, Cincinnati is solid, and then you got Cleveland. 2 out of the 3 are top 10 defenses. It doesn't make sense to me, Dill, unless they know something I don't know. Unless Justin Field is gonna take direct snaps 5-10 times a game, you got me. But Najee Harris, 3 straight season, 1,000 plus.
Yeah.
And you're going to give him 800, just 800.5, not 850. Like, to me, his over-under should at least been 950. 940.
At least closer to 1,000.
It should be over at least around 1,000 or maybe at least 875. You don't want to give him that much. Yeah. To me, it just doesn't make sense. I understand Jalen Warren. It's a solid running back. He could honestly possibly start for some. He probably could start for the Cowboys, not for nothing. Mm-hmm. But I don't see him taking that much away from Najee either to bring him under 1,000 yards. So another number that makes. To be honest, I feel like the Vegas is disrespecting the Steelers all the way around. Russ Pickens makes sense, but Russ touchdowns and yards disrespectful. Najee Harris rushing yards disrespectful. I don't know. Even the over on the wins at plus 122. I understand you might not think, but it should be minus 110. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So I'll say this. I mean, even Najee Harris, he carried the ball 255 times, and Jalen Warren, yeah, they're going to split time, but he only had 150 carries last season. In 2022, he only had 77. So he's not taking that much load off of Najee Harris. I don't understand it at all. So, no, I agree. I'm going to take the over there. Jalen Warren, though, his prop is interesting because it's sitting at 600.5. Minus 108 towards the over, minus 118 towards the under. He had 784 last season. His rookie year, only 379. He really didn't get too many carries his rookie season, but, much better step up the kid from Oklahoma State. Do you think he could get another over 600?
I think it'll be tough. I think it'll be tough just because I expect Najee, to be, running back one. And then I expect Russ to do Russ things. I don't expect a 4,000-yard season, though, but I expect Mike Tomlin to let Russ, I wouldn't say cook, but let Russ do his things at times and when needed to win the game. So I feel like 600 is pushing it for a backup running back, unless you tell me Najee's going to, get suspended for 4 games or something like that or miss time. But I think not 1,400 yards combined from your running back group. It's a lot of yards still, so I'm gonna stay away from the Jaren Warren prop. I'm not gonna say I lean over or under. I just feel like it's a lot for your backup running back.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%, kid. So those are all the Steeler props and futures that I had. Did I miss anything that you must have had or wrote anything down?
That's all. I like the Steelers. I'm not in love with them, but I like them.
All right. Let's go to a team that I was really high on last season. It all came down, and honestly, they still made the playoffs. I mean, I talk a lot of shit about the Browns, but my Super Bowl ticket was dead. Right now, 35-1 to go back to the to win the Super Bowl, to win the AFC, 17-1. Third best odds, plus 450. 8.5 is the win total, minus 138 towards the over, plus 112 towards the under to make the playoffs. Yes, at plus 148. No, minus 188. We will start there. What do you like? Super Bowl, AFC, win total, playoffs.
To be honest, give me the over 8.5 wins, minus 138. They have a slight easy schedule to, in my opinion. I like the fact, as of right now, he's reported out, but I do love Nick Chubb coming back. I feel like when Nick Chubb is in this offense, it's a totally different team, Dale. You already know Nick Chubb, when healthy, arguably the best running back in football, in my opinion. I think him, CMC, Derrick Henry, best running backs in football. The biggest question mark is Deshaun Watson, his consistency and his health. What we're gonna get, I understand maybe the Houston Deshaun Watson is probably long and gone, but are we gonna see this Deshaun Watson we saw at times last season, or are we gonna see the Deshaun Watson we saw at times in when he first came back for suspension a year and a half ago? To be honest, though, we honestly saw one good game from Deshaun last year. Just one good game when I was like, you know what? That looked like Houston Deshaun. That looked like the MVP player. That looked like a top 10 pick, Deshaun Watson. That's my only concern with the Browns. The defense is lights out. We know this. Nick Chubb, one of the best running backs in football. We know this. The wide receiving core, it was good last year.
It might be the best.
It improved. It improved. I wouldn't say the best, but it definitely improved. My biggest question mark is Deshaun Watson. Mm-hmm. But give me the over 8.5. I don't think they'll win the division. I don't see them sneaking out the conference, and hell no for Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think obviously Deshaun Watson is the biggest question mark for this team. I'm not going to touch the Super Bowl or the AFC again. Plus 450. I might need a little better price, maybe in season, but I might sprinkle something. I got to take the over, minus 138, over 8.5 wins. I do think they sneak into the playoffs as well. Give me the plus 148 as well. I think they get into the wild card, but clearly this defense last season, was the reason that they were so good. Kept them in a lot of games. They ranked first in non-sack EPA allowed last year, best since the 2019 Patriots. If they were able to do that with the 27th ranked team in health, consider this a better season. The ceiling is going to be higher for them. They were riddled with injury last season. Mm-hmm. They are going to have better luck this season. On top of losing Nick Chubb, you know, that and it probably the reason that there's no props, I'll get that out there real quick because I do think he'll miss the first few games of the season. But even with him going down, also quarterback, the O-line was hurt. O-line was ranked the 5th worst offensive line last year. They were the most injured last year. QB was a problem as well. How many starting quarterbacks did they have? Deshaun Watson, he's still a problem as well. And they still made the playoffs. I think that says a lot about how good Kevin Stefanski is. He's a top 10 coach of the year multiple times. I think they're just going to have better health luck this season. They were a very injured team. They're going to have better luck this season. And I still think top to bottom, if you look at the roster, they have one of the best rosters in the NFL, in my opinion. Outside of the 49ers and Lions, I think this team has the 3rd best roster in the league. That says a lot. I mean, my only question mark is the quarterback and Deshaun Watson. If we could just get a little more productivity from Deshaun Watson, I think they could be one of the best teams in the AFC. I think they could make a run. I think their defense is legit. I think they have a top 5 running back room. I think they have a top 5 offensive line. I was gassing with the best receiver. I think they have a top 10 receiving crew, though. They have the best.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah,
they have the best front 7. They have the top 5 secondary. I said they have a top 10 coach. It's just the big question mark. Can Deshaun Watson play better?
Can he be consistent?
Can he? Because he'll show glimpses like, oh, shit, okay, that was a nice throw. And then he'll overthrow a screen. And it's like, how does that happen?
He overthrow a tight end open down in the middle.
I just don't understand it, kid. So I'm going to back him. I think we see a tougher team. I actually think the schedule is kind of hard. They have the 4th hardest schedule in the league. I mean, especially late in the season.
On the last 4 games.
Oh my God. They're at home against the Chiefs, on the road against the Bengals, at home against Miami, and on the road against Baltimore to close the year. I mean, and even in the middle, before their bye, they play on the road against the Eagles. They're at home against the Bengals, at home against the Baltimore Ravens, and then they're at home against the Chargers. Like, these are tough games. Even the first game, week 1 against the Cowboys.
Yeah, but they're at home. You know,
all those
games are at home. The toughest games are the last 4 games of the season when they got to go on the road.
Thankfully, all their hard games are at home. I guess
all of them, besides the last 4 game stretch.
Yeah, besides obviously, but they play them every year. Besides playing at Baltimore and Pittsburgh and Cincinnati that they have to play on the road, I guess the only hard on the road game would be Philadelphia in week 6. And, always after a bye, but hopefully they'll be prepared. But after the bye in week 11, they're on the road in New Orleans. That's a tough place to play. But outside, but they should take care of that game. Yeah, and no disrespect to our fans in New Orleans.
Yeah. I was high on Derek Carr. Go back to our show last year.
I like Derek Carr.
Derek Carr made me a fool. Shout out Kamara hitting me with the over receiving week in, week out. But Derek Carr failed me. He made me look like a fool last year multiple times. So
yeah.
No,
I agree. I think they have a harder schedule than a lot of people think. But getting Jerry Jeudy, they got my boy. And even if Deshaun goes down, who are they bringing in? Jameson Winston, baby. They got my guy. I think he's a legend. So I love him. They get the linebacker Jordan Hicks. I think that's a great move for that defense as well. I like this team a lot. I do think they have a harder schedule. Let's get to another player. I asked about TJ Watt. Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year. He has the 2nd best odds at plus 600. He's another guy that was just all over the field last year. I mean, he had 42 total tackles, 33 of them were solo. He had 14 sacks. I mean, he was just all over the field, kid. Do you like this one better than TJ Watt?
This one I sprinkled on. Look, give me Myles Garrett plus 600 to win Defensive Player of the Year. We all know he got a shot. He's one of, honestly, I can make a case he's the best defensive tackle now that Aaron Gordon retired in the league. He's the best defensive tackle in the league. He's the Grim Reaper come Halloween time. We saw the quarterbacks he sacked in the back. And to be honest, I give him a shot, though. Plus 600.
Yeah.
Give me Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I like that as well. I think he'll get it. I mean, that defense, and like we said, all the hard games are at home. He plays really good at home, and I think there are
not for none. Cleveland's a zoo.
Oh my God, that's a hard place to play. 100, the dog pound. And I think there are some quarterbacks, especially early on, that he could rack up. They play the Giants. They play Oakland or Las Vegas, excuse me. They play Washington. They play Denver. You know, like there are some games where they could rack up these sacks. So no, I agree. I think it's worth a sprinkle. He's probably one of the best players defensively in the league. So I agree with the odds there. No Nick Chubb props, but there is one prop that I found. Comeback player of the year. Fourth best odds at 13-1. Do you need better numbers, or do you kind of think there's some value there? Remember, he's not going to start the season.
I think it's worth it just because let's just say he gives us 14 games, right? Let's just say he gives us 14 games.
Mm-hmm.
I think he could give us 1,000 yards in 14 games if he's 100% healthy. Still, Nick Chubb, he's one of the best running backs in all of football. Still, that offensive line will be healthier, and let's not forget, people. The Browns are a run-first defense. They're gonna rely on their defense, run the ball, and dominate time and possession like they've done. Look at Nick Chubb's stats throughout his career until last season. They're gonna run the ball still. So if he plays 14 games, I think he could possibly snap over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I agree. I just wanted to get your thought on that just because there is no props. So we'll see, maybe get in some in-season props. So no running back props, even for backup Ford. He'll get some burn. He'll actually be the starter come week 1, but no props for them just yet. But I want to start with Deshaun Watson. 3,250.5 minus 112 both ways. Now, what surprised me, you asked me like about Will Levis and Russell Wilson. I'm surprised Deshaun Watson has 18.5 passing touchdowns. Now, granted, he was hurt last season, only played a few games, 7 touchdowns, only threw for 1,100 yards. So let's not even talk about that. 2022, another season where he really didn't play. 2021, he didn't play all season. So 2020, I think, is the last, but that was on a different team where it was old Deshaun Watson. So he really hasn't much. We don't have much to go by in a Cleveland Brown uniform, if I'm being honest. But 3,250. He has Jerry Jeudy. He has Elijah Moore, David Njoku. He has Amari Cooper. I mean, they surrounded him with a bunch of talent. They got Jerry Jeudy this offseason on a very team-friendly deal. You think we see a bounce-back season from Deshaun Watson or just a little more productivity?
Yes. But give me the under 32.50.5, though. I do expect Deshaun Watson to finally have a good year. But a good year doesn't need to be great, Dill. You know, you don't need to be great for the Cleveland Browns to have a successful season. You know, I think Deshaun just needs to rely on the running game, rely on his defense, and not force things. How many times, we said it earlier, how many times we saw Deshaun Watson overthrow a wide open wide receiver or him just forcing something where it just ends up getting intercepted? I think Deshaun needs to take a step back and look at film or really talk to his coaching staff, because there's been times, multiple times, like I honestly say I've seen enough, Dill. Like I said, we saw one good game from Deshaun Watson where we was like, wow, there he is. That's the guy. Every other game I saw, I look back at Dill, he didn't look good. He didn't look sharp. He didn't look consistent enough. Honestly, at times he didn't look confident. He was kind of second guessing himself, you know. So I don't know what it is. I hope he proves me wrong. I hope we see this Houston Deshaun. I would love to see that. But I think I came to a realization that man might be gone, Dill. So give me the under 3,250.5.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the over. I'm going to be delusional. I'm high on him. I think, like I said, I think they have one of the best rosters. He has no excuse. This is the problem with me. Like, I'm defending this guy, but he's really not giving me much to work with because he has everything. He has a good run game. He has a good offensive line. He has good receivers. He has one of the best defenses. There is legit no excuse as to why Deshaun Watson is not performing. So
if Joe Flacco was able to lead that team to the playoffs with the injuries, Deshaun, he should be able to win 11 games, 10 games.
100%. So, yeah, I got to take him based on how high I think of this team. So I'm going to go over on both. I'm just hoping we could see just a little of the old Houston Deshaun. If anything is still in there, he needs to take it. This is their year. Let's start with their best receiver, in my opinion, Amari Cooper. Receiving yards, 925.5, minus 112 both ways. Receiving touchdowns, 5.5. You get even money at plus 100. Minus 128 towards the under for Amari Cooper, excuse me. Had 72 catches. He had 1,200 yards last season. Even in 2022, he still went for 1,100 yards. 2021, 800. He got hurt that year, but two years straight over 1,000 yards. You think he gets 3 years straight?
I think so, Dill. The fact that this man was able to go over 1,000 yards, and we saw the injuries with the Cleveland quarterback room. Joe Flacco was able to sling that thing, Dill, and Amari was putting up great numbers. But let's not forget, people, Amari Cooper did miss the last 2 games of the season due to what was it, a toe injury or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
It was a toe injury, something with the foot. I lost the Super Bowl over it. I'm not gonna cry about it, but remember,
it is what it is.
It is what it is, and I feel like with a healthy Deshaun, even if it's Jameis is gonna sling that thing with a healthier offensive line, with a more balanced play calling. I think Amari Cooper will have his opportunities and he'll get 1,000 yards. I don't know if he'll get 1,250 like he did last season, but I think he'll have another 1,000-yard season. This man went out of 4 out of the last 5 years. He's went over 1,000 yards still, and I expect him to do it once again, even if it's Deshaun or Jameis Winston.
Yeah, regardless of who it is, they are going to sling it. They're a pass-first team, especially with no Nick Chubb out there. So, yeah, I think early on they're going to get a lot of targets and a lot of volume, not just Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy as well, David Njoku. So, yeah, I'm going to stay away from the touchdowns, 5.5.
And real quick, though, I just noticed something. Last year, Amari Cooper had his highest average per catch at 17.5.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco was slinging that thing, boy.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco was slinging that thing.
He didn't give a shit. He came off the couch and said, fuck it, just go long. I'll find your ass. So, yeah, I like all the overs. Going to stay away from the touchdowns. Wouldn't surprise me if he did go over it, but I do like over 9. I think he gets 1,000 yards. Let's go to the wide receiver, too. Like I said, friendly deal. The Browns got for Jerry Jeudy. 9, his receiving prop is at 700.5, minus 112 both ways. He doesn't have a receiving touchdown prop, but I mean, last season, 758, 2022, almost 1,000, 972 yards. 2021, he got hurt, only got 467 games. And then in 2020, his rookie year, he had 856. So 3 of the 4 years, if he doesn't get hurt, he's an 800 to 1,000-yard receiver, and that's exactly what you want for your wide receiver, too. So I'm going to go over here, minus 112. I think the number's a little short.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Though this number, to me, doesn't make sense. The fact that Jerry Jeudy, like you said, 3 out of the 4 seasons got over 1,000 yards. The quarterback play, Russ wasn't, especially in 2022 season, wasn't really that good.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, he was better. I think with Deshaun Watson or Jameis, honestly, I think Jerry Jeudy will put up similar, if not better, numbers that he did these last few years in Denver. So if he was able to go 3 out of 4 seasons over this mark, though, I expect him to continue it in Cleveland with, I'm going to say, a little better quarterback play.
Yeah, and I would stay away from the touchdowns. I mean, he's only had more than 2 touchdowns 1 year. It was 2022. He had 6. Usually it was Courtland Sutton getting the touchdowns in Denver, not really Jerry Jeudy.
And not for nothing. And come red zone, I think
they're going to run the ball.
They're going to run the ball, and then I think David Njoku will be more the red zone target as well.
Perfect segue. Let's get to the last guy, David Njoku. His prop.
That's your boy.
That is. Shout out Cedar Grove, New Jersey. Jersey legend, but he went down to Miami. He was a first-round pick in 2017. I mean, I really like David Njoku, especially for fantasy as well. His prop is at 675.5, minus 120 towards the over, minus 106 towards the under. His receiving touchdown prop is at 4.5. He had 6 touchdowns last season. He had 4 back in 2022. This one was a little harder because he was a little inconsistent. I mean, last year was definitely his best year, 882 yards. Yeah, Flacco. We're starting to see a common thing.
Look at that thing.
But outside of that, I think David Njoku was more of a late bloomer. Like I said, in 2017, 17, 18, 19, he really wasn't playing all that well. He became a starter back in 2020 or 2021, right after the pandemic. So that's when he had 475 yards. He has gotten better every year, 475 to 628, 628 to 882. I guess, can he either stay afloat or be a little better with Deshaun Watson and Jameis Winston? I guess that's my question to you. I guess I would lean over. It is a little chalky, minus 128, but minus 120, excuse me. But I still would lean over his receiving yards.
To be honest, I think 675 is a little high. I understand he did have a career year last year, but to be honest, I think that was Joe Flacco deal. We saw his emergence when Joe Flacco stepped on the field.
That's a fact.
His targets, his yards per game just shot up with Joe Flacco. I think we're gonna see. I hate using the word regression, just because I just feel like Deshaun is gonna be a little more conservative. He's gonna hit, Amari Cooper. He's gonna hit Jerry Jeudy a little more often, and David Njoku is gonna get those targets. But like I said, I think he'll be more of a red zone threat than a down the field threat. So give me David Njoku over 4.5 touchdowns at minus 128. I just feel like he'll be more of the red zone target. Him and Nick Chubb will probably get most of the attention come red zone, and I think Amari Cooper and Jerry Jeudy will lead him down the field.
Yeah, I do like it. I rather like the receiving yards over, but I get it. They're chalky for a reason. But yeah, I think that's about it. Anything I left off or anything I missed for player prop wise, or things you wanted to talk about with Steelers or the Browns?
Nah, that's about it. I was a little more high on the Steelers than you were, and you're a little high on the Browns than I am. Like I said, I got both teams going over. It's just this is a proven year with Deshaun. I've seen it. It's 2 years straight of inconsistent play.
That's fair. Yeah, no, fair. But I think we could both agree best division in football, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we finished three divisions in the AFC. We will attack the AFC West. Next episode, Monday, we have, I want to say, the Chargers and Chiefs. So we'll see. We'll see how the news to Justin Herbert affects them, and we'll see if Patty Mahomes could just continue to go over that. But yeah, we're ticking along here. It's a weather delay for the Hall of Fame game. It's 21-17. It's a weather delay there in Canton, Ohio. So we'll keep you updated there. But like I said, 15 game slate here on the Diamond Kid. A few games that I liked. I'm gonna start, if you don't mind. I'm gonna start. We do have day baseball in the Cubs. Always Friday day baseball in Wrigley Field. But I'm going to go to that 6:40 game in Pittsburgh against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Luis Ortiz going for the Buccos. Brandon Pfaadt going for the Diamondbacks. Minus 138 for the Snakes. Plus 118 for the Pirates. Over-under is at 8.5. I'm going to take a shot here with the home dog kid. I really think they deserve to be the favorite. I think Luis Ortiz, he's been really good at home. He's only had one poor start in the month of June. It was against the Rays, but outside of that, he's been really good at home. And Pirates, they've been scoring some runs lately off of him, 4+ runs in 5 straight games. So I think they have the better offense right now. I think they have the better pitcher. So plus 114, I think it's some value here at home.
I like it there. I like it. I'm also headed to Detroit, 6:40 start as well. Kansas City's been playing good. Taking on the Detroit Tigers. You got Cole Reagans on the mound, taking on your boy Tyreek Skubal. Tyreek Skubal has been dealing all year long. Yo, I'm going to attack a little different. Kansas City's been rolling, winners of 4 straight. Detroit loses of 4 straight. So you got 2 different ball clubs heading 2 different directions right now. So I'm going to attack a little differently, Dill. Give me the potential Cy Young winner in the first 5, Dill. Give me Detroit. First 5 on the money line, minus 132. I feel like they could be up or run. I don't expect much from either side, just because I feel like both of the pitchers could do their thing. But I feel like Detroit could get up on Reagans and possibly be up in the first 5. So give me the first 5, minus 132 on the money line.
Love it. I love the angle too. You don't want to trust Detroit's bullpen as well. So I love it. Minus 118. Tyreek Skubal will win it. I'm surprised they didn't. Actually, I'm not surprised that they didn't deal him at the deadline. At the end of the day, as an organization, you can't trade away your best player. He's the reason people are coming to. He's putting seats in the fan. He's putting butts in the stands. So
selling jerseys.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, shout out to Tyreek Skubal. I love the play there. I am gonna go to the Yankees and Toronto game. Kevin Gausman going for the Blue Jays. Marcus Stroman going for the Yankees. Red hot Yankees, I might say. Minus 174 for the Yankees at home. Plus 144 for the Blue Jays. Over under is at 9. Kid, 5 in a row. Jazz Chisholm, he's really given this team a boost. He's kind of given that swagger I think that this team was looking for. I feel like they were kind of uptight, if I'm being honest. But truthfully, the Yankees should win this game, but I'm not comfortable taking them at this price, especially with Marcus Stroman on the mound. He hasn't been good. I like the team total over 4.5 for the Yankees. I think we're going to see runs in this game. Yankees offense has woken up big time. They scored 7+ runs in 6 straight games, and now they're getting Kevin Gausman, who they've already faced 3 times this season. They've scored 5+ runs in every game. So with how bad Kevin Gausman has been and how bad that bullpen is for the Blue Jays, give me the team total over 4.5 for the Yankees as my next play.
I like it, though. I like it. Heading to Texas, the Boston Red Sox taking on the Texas Rangers. My boy Crawford on the mound taking on Jose Uran. Give me the Red Sox, though. I think I caught it earlier, minus 124 right as of right now, minus 122. So it's slight money coming in. To be honest, we're struggling. We're struggling. You know, I understand we won yesterday, but we haven't looked good since the All-Star break. I can honestly say tough series against the Dodgers, looked bad against the Rockies, and then last year's against the Mariners. It's okay. The Rangers, though, they're doing bad, to be honest. They started cooking a little bit before the All-Star break, but now they're going back to the way they started the season. I don't know what's up with them, but I'm gonna fade them. Give me the Red Sox minus 124 on the money line.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything, but you guys are struggling right now. I do like Cutter Crawford. I think this is a good opportunity. Rangers aren't playing well. These are the type of games in the dog days of summer where you need to win. So
I wouldn't say it's a must-win game, but it's a must-win
series. Yes, good call. For me, I'm gonna go down to Houston. We'll stay in the state of Texas. Houston Astros taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. Houston home favorites minus 156. New acquired pitcher Yusei Kikuchi from the Blue Jays. Shane Baez going for the Rays. Over-under is at 8. I don't know the move. I don't understand it. I don't really think Houston really needed to go after Yusei Kikuchi. I'm not the biggest fan of him either. I'm going to take the over 8. I mean, this number is just too low. Both teams have been involved in a lot of high-scoring games. Both teams 6-4 towards the over last 10 games. And Kikuchi, he gives up his fair share, 3 to 4 runs, but he finally has a good offense behind him. So I think they'll be able to get to Shane Baez. I think both pitchers will give up some runs. And this is going to be the hardest game Shane Baez has pitched all season. Really good team on the road. I think we'll see some runs. 8 seems a little low. So, I'm going to go over 8 for the Rays and Astros.
Heading to California, your New York Mets taking on the Los Angeles Angels. Patrick Blackburn, my boy, making his first start for your New York Mets still. Shout out the Athletics for dealing him. My boy Blackburn needed a new start. My man Blackburn is like that. Wish the Red Sox would have got him. Could have took the kid places. Taking on Tim Anderson, right? Yeah.
Tyler
Anderson. Over-under sitting at 9. Not the red hot Mets anymore, but give me Patrick Burns and the New York Mets on the road, minus 138 on the money line. To me, they're just a much better team than the Angels, especially since summer and on. They've just been completely better. They honestly fit the switch. And let's not forget, people, the Mets are just a pretty good road team for some reason. They score the most runs in them will be on the road. They can't do it at home for some reason, but with Blackburn on the mound, Mets on the road, to me, equals a win. Give me the minus 138 on the money line.
Oh, that worries me. I do like this. We'll see how my boy Blackburn does here. Finally on a good team, but we'll see. We'll see how he does. Hopefully he can be good. Last game for me. Last game on the board. Seattle Mariners taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. Tyler Phillips going for the Phillies. Brandon Wu, my boy, at home, minus 116, minus 102. Short dogs on the road. Over under is at 7.5. Phillies, they're really not playing well. They just lost 4 straight 4-game series to the Yankees. They're 3-7 their last 10. Meanwhile, I know the offense is struggling for Seattle, but still one of the best teams at home, 31-23 straight up. And I love Brandon Wu at home. Mariners haven't lost any of his 4 home starts, and he hasn't allowed more than 2 runs in any of those starts. On the other side, Tyler Phillips, he's looked good. Only 4 starts on the season, so small sample size. I do lean under 7.5. Unders have been cash cows for Seattle. 7.5 seems a little high, but I think the momentum is with the Mariners right now. I'm going to take the hotter team. So whatever you could get, I got -117, -116, whatever you could get. But I do like Seattle here as my last play. Any more for you?
Yeah, I'm attacking the same game, but I'm gonna take it a different direction. I do like the pitching matchup in this game. Phillips has been dealing in a short stint. Brandon Wu, you know how big of a fan we are, Brandon Wu. Like you said, Mariners offense struggling a little bit, but still getting wins. And the Phillies had a tough series. Now they got to come out west. To me, doesn't equal a recipe for success. So give me the first 5 under 4.5. To me, that number is just too high for the first 5. You got Philly traveling to Seattle. To me, in two good pitchers on the mound, I think 4.5 is just too high for the first 5. So give me the under first 5, 4.5. I'm -115.
I love it, kid. Thank you so much. Good luck on the diamond. Cash some more futures. Like I said, Saturday morning, if you want something to watch before UFC Abu Dhabi, early start time, early start card on a Saturday. But Puerto Rico and the United States, Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern here on the East Coast. -33.5. Are you laying it or are you taking it quick? You got to lay it this time.
I'm taking it, though. Not for nothing. Don't get me wrong. I do expect us to, handle Puerto Rico better than South Sudan and even better than Serbia, but 33.5.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if we cover, but I expect us to take our foot off the gas at least up 35, and maybe we only win by 27. So
yeah, there are some closer games this Friday, Saturday. Like Greece is playing Australia. That should be a good game.
And let's not forget, this is a must-win game for Puerto Rico. If they're out. U.S. We advance to the semis.
Some good games over the weekend. Germany versus France. Germany's a 3-point favorite. Australia and Greece, Spain, Canada. That's a good game. Canada has been playing well, but big favorite. It's actually moved. 32.5. Money is coming in on Puerto Rico, baby. But yeah, I probably would take it as well.
Yeah, I'll lean Greece +6 against Australia. Australia got a ton of talent.
Giannis.
You got Giannis. Giannis is gonna give you 30+ for his country. I'll take Japan. I'll lean Japan plus the money. And that's it.
I would lay the 9 with Canada. Shea, Dylan Brooks. I like them.
It's at 9.5.
Yeah. 9.5.
9.5.
Spain's tough.
And then for some reason, our U.S. 3-on-3 men's team and women's.
They're 0-3. Yeah. Why?
They should have hit up Ice Cube. Could have got a big 3 going for sure.
They would have won a game at least.
They should have hit Jaylen Brown.
Exactly. That would have stuck it to him. That's going to be it, kid. Thank you so much. Good luck this week, and good luck to everyone this week. And that is going to do it for this Friday edition of The Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, make sure you guys follow us on social media, on Twitter and Instagram at The Dream Wager. If you miss an episode, no worries. You guys can catch us whenever you listen to your podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, rate, give us a review, all that good stuff. Really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great week, and we will see you guys on Monday. Peace.